Hi, this is Scott again, and I have to apologize. I've been a little bit slow in getting this out. Had a busy week, but I want to make sure that anybody who is listening that has a Fuji X-T20 that you got your version 2 software for the X-T20 from Fuji. They just released that this week on Thursday. If you're familiar with Fuji, they're a great camera company when it comes to support and fixing features and adding features. So I wanted to go shortly over some of the things they have, some of the pros and cons of those. One of the things is RGB histograms and highlight warnings. Now the highlight warnings I have been like dying for. As it's designed, you have to attach it to a function button. And when you hit that function button, it'll turn on your RGB histograms and the highlight warnings, which is great. Set your exposure and all that. But as soon as you hit the shutter, they turn off. So for stills, that's very workable. But for video, that's not really convenient, because if you are moving around and your exposure is changing, you want to know what's going on every second. So in order for you to get that to work, the function button routine doesn't work, because once you start recording, it's not going to let you turn those RGB histograms and highlight warnings back on. So if you want them on all the time, you have to go into your display custom settings, and there'll be a new box there for those highlight warnings, and you have to click that box, and then they will show all the time. It's great, absolutely great to have them. I hate to seem like a complainer, but now that I have them all the time, I wish I could assign a button to turn them off, so that if I'm setting my exposure and everything, I can turn them off. As far as I can see, the only way to turn them off is you have to dig back into the menus to the display custom settings and turn them off there, and then when you want to turn them back on, you got to dig back in there. So that to me is a little bit of inconvenient, but you know, I didn't have them at all before, and now I have highlight warnings, so I should just shut up and be happy, and big thank you to Fuji. I'm going to go into the details of it, but there's more touch controls, a lot of that with choosing and looking at your photos and selecting them and deleting them, and pinch to zoom and that type of thing. I would say just download it and play with that. The other thing it has is large indicators, which I have that on myself right now, and I like them. But one odd thing about them is that when you turn them on, you lose your focus type. It doesn't tell you whether you're in manual focus, continuous focus, or single focus anymore. And that's kind of a pain. So now you have to either look at the front of your camera, or alternately, you can go in and set a function button to the large indicators, and essentially every time you hit that button, it'll toggle between the regular or the large. So if you're not sure whether you're in single focus or continuous or manual focus, you could hit that button, see the regular small indicators, and then go back to large. I'd have to assume that this was just a bizarre oversight, because I just can't understand why they couldn't have that. But maybe there's a reason. Maybe there's not enough memory. I don't know. But still, that's a nice feature, because I really like having my exposure compensation on the side larger. It's easier for me to miss the smaller one that I may have hit the dial and set it one way or the other, and not realize it while I'm filming, and then maybe notice it later. So the bigger one is a lot more in my face and a lot more apt to me to see if I've done something wrong. The other thing it has is a PC connection mode, which is to support the FujiFilm X-Raw Studio. I've never done anything on that, but it's really nice to have, but it's not particularly quick. But now you'll be able to take your Fuji X-T20, plug it into your USB on your computer using the Fuji X-Raw Studio. You can go in and choose any of your raw files, and now you can reprocess them in any one of the Fuji film modes, which in some ways is like really great to experiment with it, but like I said, it's not like super fast, so I don't see a lot of people using it all the time. But you know, if you have that one photo and you don't want to, and you sit there and say, ah, it didn't really work out for me, and whatever you know you chose, you can like run through them. It's a great tool for testing when you want to sit there and see. It's like, okay, what'll be better? So instead of like sitting there and have to dial in each one and take a picture and then dial the next one, take a picture, now you can actually take one picture and then go back to the comfort of your studio and then sit there and look at the different styles film and see which one will work best for you in whatever your project is. Because pretty much I was someone who would always shoot in RAW, and I pretty much shoot in RAW, but I actually always usually have some kind of a you know, JPEG setting, so a film simulation mode clicked on too. And I've been surprised at how happy I've been with some of the film simulations. So I end up just deleting the RAWs because it's like, nope, I don't need to mess with them. This thing's beautiful out of the camera. One of the wonders of Fuji. The last thing is they have say they have increased the compatibility of flash settings. Now I looked at this briefly, but I didn't see where anything was different. And maybe that's just because of me. I use the Godox flashes, which I will do a review on. And I have 3 of them, and I didn't really see where anything was different. So maybe this applies to a particular flash or whatever. I'll look into it more. If I understand it, then I'll actually do, or how it's different. I'll do a video on it and explain what I've found. So that's pretty much it. I will put a link to where the firmware is in case you haven't found it yet, but definitely get it. Hope this was interesting. Please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. I'd like to continue to do these videos, but of course I gotta hope that they're good for you too. Have a good day.